Absolutely.
It's called Precognition. And I wanted to make sure I get it right. It's really a very pretentious title, if I may say so myself. But I'm kind of playing off In Paradise, Therefore I Am. I'm still there. Whatever they, there's like 5 different ways that people have interpreted that. And the title is More So in Paradise Sees the Philosopher Queen, the Absence Thereof. So I didn't know how to paint thinking about the absence of what I love until it wasn't there.
Right.
How do you paint the absence of something that you love? It's not there when you're there. There's all types of ways I've thought about getting that energy,
Yeah.
Should it have music notes on it? I went all different directions trying to fix it and think about what it should be and how I should finish it. Footprints, how do you show that the music's not there, that there's no one dancing, there's no one going, hey girl, you pretty. There's no, there's not anything. Oh, your outfit was like, oh, I love your dog, and pet the dog, and just a whole night out that I've been doing all my life.
Right.
How do you paint the absence of that safe space once it's gone? Well, you don't know how to paint it until it's actually gone and you see it. And I've seen Deep Ellum go through lots of different changes. Most recently, an absolute refacing and biblical amount of buildings going up, so that you don't even know where you are in streets that you thought you knew.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sure we're all
exploding.
experiencing that in DFW all the time. But and then when I went down there and I actually saw it, and it was a ghost town, and it felt like a ghost town, and you start thinking, is it going to come back? What businesses are going to come back? I've seen businesses come and go. I've seen buildings that I had the little dream of buying get sold, of course, millions of dollars. But I always imagined, well, what would I put there? And it would be like this and that.
What story were you ultimately trying to tell with this piece?
I think I started with the idea of documenting myself, because it is a self-portrait in a place I love. I don't know, when you find a place you love, whether it be in the woods or the ocean or your own house, a place that keeps drawing you back to it no matter what or where you've been. And then to see it, that's what it started off as. Then it became so much more as the years passed by. It became really a part of my life at this point, I guess.
Yeah.
Having it in my life for at least 9 years. Wondering as an artist how to fix it, how to finish it, what should it be. Knowing that my initial thought, and I know many artists go through this, my initial thought was not sufficient. My initial thought was, I'll take a picture of myself, I'll take a picture of the Dallas background, and I'll paint them. And I think it was when I made this shape of this background of these shadows I kind of knew at that point, oh no, I'm not going to be painting all the stuff in this painting. What will I do with it? I'm not putting cars. And I actually went through this stage where I was like, oh, we'll make it futuristic. We'll make this part of it that spaceships land, and I'll paint spaceships. And it'll be like aliens are walking. I mean, I went through so many different levels of trying to think about it. And then I got into the astronomy, and then I didn't care about this painting because I'm learning about how the sun moves and the tilt of the earth and how these things are related and the time scales. And then I found the Dendera Zodiac, which I've been obsessed with and am decoding.
Yeah.
And that has taken over my life, which we'll fix to talk about another painting.
Perfect. All right. I think that's all I have.
I guess I'll just stand for this one. That was so cool. That led right into the Dendera Zodiac.
Perfect. Yeah, stand on the other side if you can. I think it would be, yeah, there's more room. Oh, wait. Well, maybe because the window's making you look kind of fuzzy. Yeah, I think that's better, yeah. And action.
So I was speaking about the Dendera Zodiac that I've been interested in. This is actually a figure from the Dendera Zodiac. This is Horus on papyrus. And this particular shape is really interesting because it's also used in architecture as a form, to find vertical. And Horus, of course, is arguably the most important Egyptian deity. He stands for one of the words that we come from Horus would be the hours. And he wears the red crown and the red crown and the white crown combined. And the painting is made to look like a night sky. And this is a cubit. And this is, of course, a whale. And a Model T and a rocket. Well, in this painting, I'm imagining the deity of the hours, the Horus, watching all of being come in and out of being. I think I was thinking about an immortal, a true immortal. What would they see? Like, that's one of the things that people fantasize about, immortality. What if you were around for all of this, from the beginning to the end? And if there is, a divine, they must have been for the whole thing, unless they were made, and then it goes back to the next one and the next one and the next one, right? So these wonderful thoughts about things coming into being are just very simply summarized here with the night sky, the celestial sphere. The constellations literally could be anything. Ursa Major could be a whale. Sagitta could be a rocket. This could be one of Jazi's eyes, and the other one could be another round thing that goes with this one. Whatever culture comes into the knowledge of the stars, from whatever culture decided that we should be calling Orion Orion. Of course, Orion itself has many names. And then how we continue to change those. Now they're all mostly the Ptolemaic names for the constellations, but there are many cultures that have very, some similar and some dissimilar names for all these constellations. And I think one thing that really intrigues me about astronomy and the stones, they are the oldest things that we know of that are still there to say, hey, there was someone stacking stones on really big stones on top of other stones a long time ago. And they weren't towards the river, or they weren't towards the mountain. Well, in some cases they are towards rivers and mountains, but mostly these really important stone structures that have been left to us by our ancestors are related to the stars. And so that has really what has caught my imagination. And as a people, our sun is moving towards something, and other things are moving, and then things are moving towards the earth, and the earth is moving, and everything seems so still for us, but it's not. And at some point, I think we're kind of awakening to the point that we need options, and we're trying to get some options. Maybe have some more space stations, and habit other planets. I think it's the thing to start thinking about if continuing on, with all the joy we have as humans, is to be going on.
If you were to add more figures into this galaxy of objects, what else would be in its, what other constellations would you change to inhabit this painting?
I think I would probably, I like that you said that, because now it gives me that idea for another painting. I think I would put Vega, a representation of Vega, maybe up here, and Orion down here, or Vega there, and Orion here. Because it seems that we may have emanated from the direction of Orion and be moving throughout the solar system towards the direction of Vega.
Cool.
I also think it would be cool if to do some paintings of some other gods doing what I think they would be doing.
That would be fun. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's a cool question. It gives you a lot of ideas.
Yeah, because the galaxy is never ending, so you know what I mean? So it's this is just kind of a small piece of it.
It also makes me wish I would have made things bigger and smaller in the background for the viewer.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
But on one level, I wanted the cubit, the whale, the car, and all it to be exactly the same size, because it would be in his mind.
Right.
He'd be like, "Oh, look at the tiny ant or the giant whale," or So I think some, and that's what something I've kind of aspired to myself is to be thinking about every small thing and every large thing as equally important or equally as interesting. I'll tell a brief story. When I was 8 years old, and I remember this very clearly, I remember 2 times in my life when I made promises to myself, and this is one of the promises I made. I was in my grandma's backyard, and she had exquisite grass. I'm telling you, you know that neighbor
That
that's
good
out there
St.
like,
Augustine.
oh, there's a grass butt. You
Yeah.
know? I did not get that knack from her. I was like, oh, just let it grow. Oh. But anyways, her grass was beautiful, and she had beautiful roses and everything. And I remember being back in her backyard, laying on that grass, and the little pieces were warm from the sun. And it was just such a memorable moment. And then I remember, getting up, and I looked to the grass, and I saw animals in there. And I don't know why it never struck me. Maybe you have to get a certain age, because I'm sure before the age of 8, I had stomped on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But it never bothered me before,
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, I was like, where do I stand? How do I get off the grass? Everywhere I go, there's going to be something I'm going to kill. And it really struck me at that point. You're always stepping on things, all the time. And then I thought about, well, if I'm big and there's really small things, there must be a whole bunch of really big things that will try to step on me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well,
It almost makes you want to just stay inside all the time.
I'm like really gonna have to watch out for that. I don't know if it was that moment or what, but there's been a couple times in my life where like something swirled up in, and I was like, oh, just the energy of that alone, I'm walking this way.
Yeah.
That's too big for me. Like, it looks flashy, it looks interesting, but I'm too naive. I'm not, and purposeful naivety, mind you, of that kind of stuff. I don't want to be involved in it. Even if there's a whole bunch of cash and fame and whatever else involved, I'll just stick with over here. Big things, if you let them get their hooks in you, get collusion going with you. So, you really have to trust just even the simplest things that are going on around you. And that was, one of the moments, carrying it back to the painting, where I just kind of decided that, some kind of balance must be found within what I do and what others do to me. Going back to that, I think the more I talk about these paintings, the more I talk about everything trying to be towards some kind of balance. And I'd like to just say that that's because that's something for all humans. We're all searching for some kind of balance in our lives between the sides of our, not that any person is two things, please don't let that happen, but just trying to come to terms with memories and what to do with those and what to do next. We'll just put it that way. And so I imagine that Horace would be very good at that because he's had lots of experience. Just sitting there on his papyrus, watching the Nile flow by, watching people. He would see all the intricacies happen. The other day I saw a hippopotamus. This is on a video. I saw a hippopotamus help a gazelle get away from an alligator.
Oh, cool.
The gazelle was just drinking, having a nice time, and then here comes the alligator and has it, and he's swimming with it. Well, the hippopotamuses start bashing the alligator with their great big faces. You can go with that gazelle, and it got away, and I was like, even animals. I mean, that's what you just have to keep focusing on, is all the good around. And I think that's that's the only way that someone could be immortal, is if they constantly just try to focus on the good by being wary of the bad as well.
Right. What size is this painting?
48 by 42.
Cool. And how much is this painting?
900. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.